What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Post-Gazette Pirates YouTube channel. Noah Hiles here, previewing the club's three-game weekend series against the Cleveland Guardians. Pirates coming off of a nice series win over the Nationals, taking 3 out of 4 games. That series was, of course, concluded Thursday afternoon with a 1-0 shutout win, headlined by Andrew Heaney going 7 1/3 scoreless. O'Neal Cruz leadoff home run in the bottom of the first inning, first at bat. I believe second pitch he saw, put him ahead, and they never let go. So Pirates enter this one 8-12. They host the reigning American League Central Division champion Cleveland Guardians, who enter this one with a record of 9-9. Some fun storylines in this one. We're going to get right to them right now. First things first, I think the big storyline that we can start with here involves the first starting pitcher the Pirates are going to trot out there this series. Friday night starter Carmen Mlodzinski, a guy who I think is reaching a point at this season where he needs to prove that he deserves to be a starting pitcher. He's clearly a big league pitcher. He's a talented reliever. And I think even through his body of work this year as a starter, we can see that this guy is a very effective relief pitcher at the game's highest level. But excuse me, through 3 starts, this guy's still shown struggles to be as effective the second and third time through an order. He looked really good I won't say really good. He looked good enough, I should say, in his one home start against the Cardinals. That would have been on, I believe, April 7th. He threw 5 innings, I believe only allowed 1 run, was efficient. Velocity looked good. All of his pitches were hitting their spots. But the other 2 starts he's had this season, the one in Tampa and then the one last weekend in Cincinnati, he just kind of starts to fade after getting through the order that first time. I wrote about this in their loss Sunday, which was the last time he pitched. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but they are drastically bad compared to how he looks the first time through the order, where I believe he's only allowed 1 run in 27 showdowns, 27 at-bats. So he's got to prove that. And the clock's ticking, because if he can't do it now, I think we're reaching a point in the season, as we're in the back half of April, where it might be time to start looking at other options for that 5th rotation spot. I mean, Bubba Chandler is looking really good right now. Braxton Ashcraft, Mike Burrows, Thomas Harrington's already been up here already in the big leagues. So I'm not saying that this is his final chance, but I think that we're getting down to that point where he might need to put up or shut up. And I'm not saying that if he doesn't throw 5 scoreless innings or get through 5 frames, that he's going to be in AAA for the rest of the season. It's just that maybe we're finding the answer here, or at least for where we currently stand. He'll get another shot, I'm sure, to be a starter probably sometime this season. If not, then they'll start over again next spring and allow him to build up. But for now, the rest of the rotation's throwing the ball too well to lose momentum on Carmen's day. So he's got to come out and he's got to show that he can get through the order at least 2 times, 3 times, get you 5, 6 innings consistently. It doesn't have to be every time, but it's got to be more often than not that you can at least get 5 ups. So that's the big challenge, I think, today for Carmen. He's got to prove it. And if not, then maybe this whole starter experiment isn't the play right now. Now, one thing Carmen has going for him is the bullpen is very well rested. Bailey Falter threw 7 innings. Wednesday night, Heaney threw 7 1/3 yesterday. Thursday being Thursday. So their guys should be well rested. They didn't pitch a ton of high leverage innings this series because they won Monday by a high margin. They won Wednesday by a high margin. And Tuesday they lost 3-0. So the only save situation this bullpen really encountered was yesterday. So they have the reinforcements to cover innings if need be, if Carmen can't go long. But that's the big story, I think, heading into this one. Second storyline into this series are some familiar faces. Luis Ortiz, back on the mound, facing the team that gave him his big league opportunity tonight against Carmen Mlodzinski. And boy, is it ironic, because this team probably would like to have Luis Ortiz right now. They, of course, traded him and a couple of pitching prospects for Spencer Horwitz, who is yet to play for the Pirates, started the season on the IL due to a wrist injury that required surgery. Ortiz hasn't been amazing so far. He's 1-2 with a 6.06 ERA, but his last outing was really good. He went 5 2/3, allowed 1 earned run, struck out 10. He's trending in the right direction, and I bet you he's going to have some motivation facing his former team that traded him away in December. So that's one familiar face. The other, Carlos Santana, the starting first baseman for this team. He'll play some DH as well. These are two guys that the Pirates would probably be better with them on their team. If the Pirates had simply signed Carlos Santana and not traded for Spencer Horwitz, their record is probably better than 8-12 right now. Now, long term, who knows? I mean, Horwitz has so many years of control. He could develop into a really good player and be a key piece for this franchise moving forward. But at least right now, the Guardians have two guys that have both played on the North Shore, both liked playing here, and they would make this team a lot better off, and they were both attainable. So we'll move on now to another storyline here. Third storyline is it's just good pitching showdowns for the rest of the series. You got Skenes versus Ben Lively on Thursday. Lively, a guy that I know the Guardians are really high on. Not the best numbers right now, 0-2 with a 4.87 ERA. But this is a guy who will give the Pirates trouble, I think. And then Sunday, the final matchup of the series, Keller goes up against Logan Allen. Allen 1-1 with a 230 earned run average. For the Pirates offense, which looks to be getting a little better, I guess. It's hard to say that because, I mean, yeah, sure, they scored 10 runs in one game, 6 in another, but they got shut out on Tuesday and only scored 1 run Thursday. This is going to be a challenge because in addition to facing probably the 3 best starters in this rotation, you're not going to get any easier at bats when the bullpen gets called into action. The Guardians have the best bullpen in baseball, in my opinion, or at least in the American League. If you want to say the Dodgers have the best in the National League, I'm not going to press you too hard on that one. There are some other really good ones as well, but I mean, I love what the Guardians do after their starter exits. They're just loaded. They've got so many guys who can get you out in so many different ways. Headlined, of course, by Clase, who is, I think, the best relief pitcher in Major League Baseball right now. So it's not going to be a case where you get rid of the starter and then you get into some weaker pitching. For this team, in most games, when the starter gets out, it's to their advantage because they can match up you to death. Every guy they'll trot out there in relief is a real weapon. So this might be the biggest test yet for the Pirates offense as far as what they're seeing on the mound. I know that the Reds were throwing the ball really well last weekend in Cincinnati. They have the best stats, but as far as matchups and just overall known established talent, this Guardians pitching staff is one of the good ones, man. They're going to be tough to beat. So looking over the numbers right now, as we scout Cleveland here to round this up, the Guardians are just a very middle of the pack team statistically, which explains their 9-9 record. Batting average, OBP, slug, OPS all ranked somewhere between 16th to 19th in Major League Baseball. They're tied for 10th most in home runs with 22, but that's part of the course. They play in a ballpark that you hit a lot of home runs in. They're only scored 68 runs, which is 22nd in the league and right around the Pirates total. Look at their pitching numbers real quick. A 4.06 ERA, that's 15th in the league. Lower third in strikeouts, 148. That ranks 24th. They're middle of the pack in walks, 15th in the league with 65. Batting average against teams are hitting 247 against them. That's 20th in the league. And their whip is 1.35. That's 23rd. So they're middle to slightly below average in statistics. This is a team that shouldn't be taken lightly. I mean, they won the American League Central last year, a division that put 3 teams in the playoffs. And then went to the ALCS, and they have a lot of returning talent there. 3 guys to watch in this series. Highlighted one of them already, Luis Ortiz, guy who, like I said, I was really impressed with last year with his versatility that he brought to this Pirates pitching staff. I think he's going to have a really good big league career. I think he's going to throw the ball really well Friday night in his return home to PNC Park. And then the 2 obvious ones to watch out for as far as position players are concerned. Steven Kwan, batting .310, OPS of 815, one of the best leadoff hitters in the game. He's going to be trouble. He's tough to get out. And then Jose Ramirez, the most underrated player in baseball, in my opinion, 4 home runs, 814 OPS already this year. We're going to take a quick break to hear from our sponsor, Greenewalt Roofing. And when we return, I will give you my bold predictions for this series.
Hey, Pittsburgh. When you think of great roofs, you think Greenewalt Roofing Company. With over 20 years experience, Greenewalt knows your roof is your home's first line of defense from rain, wind, snow, and ice. That's why Greenewalt Roofing's standard for perfection is so important. You can trust that their team of experienced installers will treat your property like it's their own. When it comes to roof replacements, Greenewalt Roofing is Pittsburgh's only choice. Visit greenewaltroofing.com today or call 412-314-8882 to schedule your free estimate. PA contractor number 36262.
All right, big thanks to Greenewalt Roofing for all their support for the show. So bold prediction, my last bold prediction for the series preview against the Nationals came true. I said O'Neal Cruz, 2 home runs in this series. He hit him. He hit a grand slam Wednesday, followed it up with a leadoff home run to start the game on Thursday. Both of those helped the Pirates get the win. So we're going to keep on the home run train now. I'm going to go Andrew McCutchen, 2 home runs in this series. Waiting to see the bat really get going for Kutch. He hasn't been terrible, but he's been barreling some balls that, especially in the road, it feels like they just got kind of caught up in the wind and didn't get out. I'm going to say 2 home runs for Kutch. As far as my predictions for results, I think they lose Friday. They win Saturday on Skenes bobblehead day. And then they lose a close one Sunday. That's going to make everyone really frustrated. So those are my predictions. I'm Noah Hiles. Check out all of my work at post-gazette.com. Subscribe to this channel if you don't already, and get yourself a digital subscription to the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. It's worth every dime. I promise you that, folks. Keep tuning in. We'll have you covered throughout the rest of this series and throughout the rest of the season.
Thank you for checking out this content from Post-Gazette Sports. If you watch this video on YouTube, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. For all of the sports coverage the Post-Gazette has to offer, visit post-gazette.com.